Peter, the vibe of this team is that you're a top 5 ball club. You should win the ACC, maybe win the national title. You've been hearing that a lot. How have you been reacting every time you look at social media and see Clemson up there?
I just keep saying, those are just opinions of others. Only thing that matters for real is what we think about ourselves in the locker room, and what we think about ourselves is reflected upon our work. Did we put the work in, and did we attack those 349 days that we're not playing football? And that's really what it comes to for us.
Peter, we've seen the accountability drills, what that looks like. How do you think this defense will look different on the field this year under Tom Allen?
I think that we'll have some fire to us. A lot of energy. Coach Allen, he brings energy to the room every time he comes in there, and he demands our best day in and day out, on and off the field. And I think that's just a big thing for us. As a defense, just knowing that we have somebody that believes in us and that knows that there's more for us, and that's inspiring us to get.
You got a big one to start out. How hard is it to not make that monster of its own, and just to keep it in perspective?
For me, it is a monster of its own, because it's the start. You know what I'm saying? How you start, say it doesn't matter, but our goal is to win the opener and then win the second game, and then win the third game, and then win the fourth game. And so I think it is a monster of its own. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to go 1-0 week 1. It's going to be a crazy environment in Death Valley, and I'm super excited for that.
In the NIL world that college football is today, sometimes establishing chemistry, camaraderie is going to be a key thing that all coaches are going to have to do. Where would you say the state of Clemson's closeness, chemistry, and camaraderie is heading into the season?
I mean, it's easy. We lead the nation in retention. So we don't have players leave. We don't have many players come in, and the guys that we have come in are guys with great relationships, great people, people who fit the mold of Clemson. And as you know, we have a great culture there in Clemson. And I think, me and TJ and Antonio and Cade's first year started was my freshman year, so we've been doing this thing together for years, and now it's just time to put it all together.
Peter, there's a few teams that have been talked about more this offseason than the Clemson Tigers. How do you guys approach that next level of expectation, the level of hype going into a year where everyone's looking at you guys as a national champion contender?
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful, it's flattering, I love it, appreciate it, but it's like, we got to do the work, I'm glad that people think of us in that regard, but if we don't do the work, that can be our judgment, that can be our downfall. And so I'd be remiss if I were to say, like, let's go make it happen, I appreciate it.
Peter, you get as far as you have a game plan for a game, of course. What's the game plan or the mindset going into? You're going to be asked dozens of questions that you don't know what they're going to be. But what's the mindset of the game plan for the meetings?
Just be myself, be authentic. I'm prepared for things like this, and just be authentic, be myself. Don't try to be anybody else. That's pretty much it. I don't really have too many rules, and just kind of tell the truth on how I feel about certain subjects, and just represent Clemson well.
Peter, what's it been like? What have you seen from Cade? Obviously, the outside noise is loud around him, but you get a behind-the-scenes look. What's the fire you see in his eye heading into this big season?
Cade Klubnik, man, that's as ready as it gets. I'm super excited for him. I can remember a time when everybody told Cade that he was trash, and that Coach Williams would go get another quarterback, and he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he hit the portal, and then he just came out, boom, now everybody trying to give him the Heisman. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just super proud of him, just, always staying true to himself and who he is, and staying level-headed, through the good and the bad, And you ask him right now, he'll tell you the same thing. Hey, I'm just here to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Same thing he said when everybody said he was trash. Now everybody want to give him the Heisman. Every day he's still just there to do the work.